Ladies and gentlemen, it does appear that the number 2 Kurobot, Glaive Kyo himself, is back at it again. And this time, he's talking about how the most dedicated, tribalistic players hold back the games they love, defend mediocrity, and actively make their game worse. Oh my. We're seeing examples of it right now for Honkai Star Rail 3.0. We're seeing examples of it throughout the entire history of Genshin Impact. And we see examples of where it doesn't happen in games like Wuthering Waves, obviously, because of all those incredible improvements they made in 2.0 itself. So with that, this is a banger 14-minute video. I'm excited to see where it goes. Let's see how it is, Mr. Glaive.
Bro, I feel like this patch is literally just recycled events and the new character is just mid, no? Well, what do you expect? It's a gacha game. Well, yeah, but like, if you don't like it, don't play it. Well, I just think stop creating drama. No, I'm not.
Boy, have you ever heard that before? How dare you talk about Amphorius' storytelling being bad? Just play the game. Stop critiquing Honkai Star Rail. Stop critiquing the lazy cutscenes. Just play it.
I just think stop creating drama. No, I'm not creating drama, bro. I'm just giving criticism right now. Stop. Welcome to the endless cycle of gacha defenders, a realm where logic goes to die and bad takes are resurrected every day. Today, we're diving into the mental gymnastics that players do to defend their favorite gacha games, why their arguments fall apart faster than a Genshin Impact weapon banner, and why we need to break this cycle. Hey, look, I get it. We all have that one game we ride or die for, right? Whether it's Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Honk Yap Starbucks, or Sleeper Zone Zero. There is something about these games that hooks us, but there's a fine line between loving a game and blindly defending it. And sadly, too many players cross that line. Here's the thing, when we defend mediocrity, when we brush off predatory systems with it's just a gacha game, bro, we're not just hurting ourselves, we are holding back the entire genre. And you know what's wild? These billion-dollar companies aren't sending them thank you gift cards for it. In fact, they're just doubling down on the same practices players are blindly defending. And
let me just give some context over here. This was actually the scummiest thing I've seen Hoyoverse do in quite a while. The fact that they had 2 of their newest characters, extremely high meta value, like just very popular, very high value in the meta. They release both of their banners at the same time, and then they release all of the patches rewards after their banner ends. I don't even know what to say. I cannot believe that there weren't more people just losing their fucking shit about this. I can guarantee that if Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves did something like this, the gacha sphere would be on fire. It would be on fire. But because these individuals that play these games are so obsessed with defending the company, defending mediocrity, you have the fucking Baranu Onrainus who will just say, this isn't really how they should be doing it. And then he immediately C6's Mavuika on release day? Yeah, you guys got some fucking dumbasses as your content creators. 1000%. 1000%.
Players are blindly defending. And how do they defend these games, you ask? Oh, you're in for a treat. It's not just blind loyalty, it's a whole collection of mental gymnastics disguised as arguments. Let's take a look at some of the most common statements gacha defenders throw around and why they're not just wrong, but outright harmful for the future of these games. Well, it's better than nothing.
They gave me just the smallest crumbs, sir. Oh, they gave me the leftovers from the dinner table, so mustn't that be enough? They could have given me nothing at all and left me to starve. I could have gotten just the daily primo gems, but I got 3. I got 3 pulls, so it's fine.
Well, it's better than nothing. Let's dissect this gem, shall we? From the beginning of Genshin Impact, the better than nothing defense is like giving a participation trophy to Hoyo for not even doing the bare minimum. It's giving, I know they're charging me hundreds of dollars for a PNG, but at least they give me something this patch. Bro, what the? Scraps are still scraps. Imagine paying for an all-you-can-eat buffet, but instead of a glorious spread of dishes, they hand you one sad stale bread. Are you really going to sit there and munching away saying, well, at least it's not nothing? No, you're going to demand for better food, or at the very least your money back. But for some reason, when it comes to gacha games, people are weirdly content with low effort updates. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, but with patch notes.
Well, at least Amphorius has a story. At least 3.0 has a couple of cutscenes. Who cares that it's supposed to be a groundbreaking version update and they downgraded the storytelling to levels that are actually worse than the release day game? Who cares? We got something out of it. We got a 10-hour story that nobody on Twitch wants to watch.
Shut up. It's fucking trash. Who has ever seen a drop-off for a version update that large in the history of gacha gaming? The drop-off of Honkai Star Rail from release day of 3.0 to the day right after should be studied. Release day to the day after, that should be fucking studied. I swear to God. It's a scientific phenomenon. I've never seen viewership for a game that makes millions, hundreds of millions of dollars drop off that much before.
With low effort updates. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, but with patch notes. This exact mindset is what led to the whole gacha is dead meme in the first place. The industry become a wasteland of lazy events and rehashed banners because people keep cheering for nothing. And if you set the bar on the floor, devs are going to trip over it. You don't reward mediocrity, you call it out. So they actually have to try. You're creating drama, you're rage baiting. Okay, so apparently saying, hey, this patch needs improvement is now equivalent of making a content creator smasher pass tier list. Let me break it down to you. Criticism isn't drama. Discussions about what's wrong with a game, that's not rage bait, that's feedback. The only people making it dramatic are the ones turning every valid critique into a personal attack. Bro, it's
Sound like somebody you know?
Just like the game. Stop hating on it. You're causing gacha tribalism. You're causing gacha tribalism.
Yeah. So, yeah, talking about how the game is objectively fucking dog shit in comparison to all the other games under the Hoyo umbrella. Yeah, that's dog shit. Yeah, that's tribalism. Yeah, literally using the other games that Hoyoverse makes as examples. Yeah, that's tribalism. Yep. Not even actually mentioning. Oh, mentioning Wuthering. Yeah, I mentioned Wuthering Waves once in my comparison, so it's tribalism. 1000%. Yeah.
turning every valid critique into a personal attack. Bro, it's like chill. Like daddy chill. Nobody's storming the devs headquarters with a pitchfork. Unless that one Genshin incident when, you know, the CEO almost got stabby. We were literally just pointing out how $1 billion game is reusing the same stale ideas.
Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. Ooh, that's not good at all. Oh, that's pretty bad. Yo, hey, they changed the eye color though. Hey, we got something. At least they changed the clothes and the eye color. And she's got slightly different shading. It's slightly lighter. It's a little bit paler. Who cares if everything else is exactly the same?
Game is reusing the same stale ideas and expecting applause. The funny part, the same defenders are the one who will complain about burnout later because shocker, recycled content isn't exciting. Wow. Here's the thing, calling valid criticism drama is just a way to shut down conversations. It's easier to slap the rage bait label on someone.
Should be Hoyoshills, but this is one of the most accurate things I've ever seen. Hoyoshills, valid criticism, you're just rage baiting. You're just rage baiting and causing gacha tribalism because you don't think our game is perfect.
Slap the rage bait label on someone than to actually engage with what they are saying. Hey, newsflash, discussing improvements isn't scandalous. You know what is scandalous? Your mom's cheating scandal. Nah, I'm saying no. So maybe instead of pearl clutching over critiques, we should focus on holding the devs accountable for doing better. Otherwise, we're just letting the cycle repeat, and that is the real drama. If you don't like it, don't play it. Ah, the classic. Okay, so just quit if you don't like it. Oh, because clearly the only options in life are blind loyalty or full abandonment, right? Let's break this down. The people who criticize the game the most, they are usually the ones who care about it the most. They have invested time, money, emotional energy to it, so they would want to improve it, not crash and burn. You know who doesn't criticize the game? The people who actually don't like it. I don't think this is a hard logic to get. This mindset is...
Well, you're missing the other part of the equation, Glaive, of people who don't criticize the game. People who are getting paid not to criticize it. You forgot to factor them into the equation as well. I'm not going to name any names here, but, you know, things like early access to characters, stuff like that, that kind of gives some people a big financial incentive, you know, not to criticize a game. Not going to name any names, though, here.
A hard logic to get. This mindset is like telling someone in a relationship, I think your man is getting a little bit too comfortable, just break up. No room for communication, no effort to make things better. Just throw the whole thing away. But here's the thing, criticism is the opposite of hate. It's a way of saying, I care enough about this to point out what's wrong with it so it can improve. So no, we're not quitting. We are here because we see the potential for greatness, and we're not letting billion-dollar companies skate on mediocrity. It's your fault that they insert predatory system.
There's a point that I wanted to make over here.
Not letting billion-dollar companies skate on mediocrity.
People seem to have like this weird fetish with misconstruing why I make so many videos about Hoyoverse games. The reason why I make so many videos on Hoyoverse games is because I know that they can easily become better. I know that it's very easy for them to remove a lot of the bullshit systems that make playing them sometimes feel like more of a chore than an actual game. And when those games get better, that means that there's more motivation and inspiration for other games in the space to become better. Think about the fact that Wuthering Waves 2.0 released, and now people have like a laundry list of features that Hoyoverse should add to their games to make it better, right? They literally use examples of Wuthering Waves' animation quality, transitions, dialogue, and they use that as like their fix list to give to Hoyoverse when it comes to things like Honkai Star Rail 3.0, right? Imagine if Wuthering Waves was able to get a fix list from Hoyoverse games, but they never will because Hoyo is fucking lazy and does the bare minimum and doesn't actually try to make their games actively better. They just want to make money. And calling that out should, in my opinion, be something that people do if they do actually want their games to get better.
It's your fault that the insert predatory system here happened to you.
Hey, bro, do you have Himiko? If not, congratulations. And congratulations on your camper!
Ah, yes, it's my fault. Oh, silly me. What a fool am I for not being a psychic and planning my polls 6 months in advance.
Isn't this like the whole Arknight's Enfield situation?
Oh, well, if you get fucked by the fact that the pity doesn't roll over and that you waste 80 to 90 to 100 fucking pulls, it's just your fault for not planning in the first place, dumbass. You should have known better and planned your pulls like an intelligent person, dumbass. That's how it was in the OG Arknights, so that's how it should always be.
Or you just don't have a fucking system like that in the first place so people can't actually get fucked. Have you thought about that too? And just make your game better?
Psychic and planning my polls 6 months in advance, or for expecting a game I enjoy to have systems that aren't, you know, fair? Let's really think about this logic. A company designs a deliberately manipulative system to squeeze as much money as possible out of its player base, and somehow it's my fault for falling into the trap. Are you dumb? This double banner setup feels like a cash grab. They are clearly incentivizing players to win. Well, you should have saved your Primo gems for 6 months ago. This is all you. Yes. Next time I'll consult my crystal ball and perfectly predict the future banner.
Yeah, you should have known that Salali and Mavuika were gonna run at the same time, and you should have also predicted that the Lantern Rite rewards, which are usually given at the start of the patch, would instead be delayed until Phase 2. And the fact you didn't do that, you're stupid. You're a little dum-dum. Ha! Ha! Skill issue. Ha! Nerd.
Consult my crystal ball and perfectly predict the future banners. My bad. What the? Let's not pretend the blame belongs anywhere other than the billion-dollar company crafting these systems. These games are designed by the entire teams of psychologists and economists to prey on human behavior. You are playing 4D chess against a corporation with unlimited resources, and somehow the player is the one at fault. I'm gonna pluck your eyeballs out, motherfucker. Listen, calling out predatory practices doesn't mean you're bad at managing your resources. It means you're recognizing that these systems are unfair and manipulative, and you're asking for better. And instead of blaming the victims, maybe we should start holding.
All right, I need to see that. I need to see that one again. That was a little short. Remember, guys, the power creep in the game being a problem, that's on you. Just pull for all the broken characters. Fuck whoever you like. Just pull all the broken characters and you won't have a problem. Stupid. Greedy.
And you're asking for better. And instead of blaming the victims, maybe we should start holding the companies accountable for creating the problem in the first place. So no, it's not our fault, it's theirs. And defending these systems only enables them to keep getting worse. Let's not let that happen, shall we? Well, it's free, so why are you complaining? The golden shield of it's free, so shut up. This argument is practically a relic in the gacha world, but let's dissect on why it's so hilariously wrong. First of all, just because something is free doesn't mean it's above criticism. criticism. If you watch a free YouTube video, can't you still say, hey, maybe the audio quality was bad? If you read a free webcomic, are you allowed to point out the plot holes? Oh, but it's free. You're not even paying for it. Oh, so I'm supposed to thank them for, nothing. Hey, let's not pretend gacha games are truly free. Sure, you can play for free, but these games are designed to nudge, tempt, and outright push you towards spending money. Every banner, every paid battle pass, every limited time outfit, they're dangling shiny things in front of you, hoping that you'll cave. So the free part, it's a marketing hook, not a saintly gift from the heavens. Also, here's the truth. Consuming the content, whether you paid or not, gives you the right to share your thoughts. That's how opinions work. Watching a pirated anime doesn't invalidate your critique of the plot, and playing a free game doesn't mean you can't point out its flaws. It's out in the wild. It's fair game for criticism. Period. Slay. No printer. And here comes the final boss.
Yeah, and he's entirely right about that. If your argument is it's free, so you can't critique it, well, guess what? There's a lot of things in life that are free. You ever gone outside and something smelled bad? And you said, wow, that smells bad? Well, that air that you smelled was fucking free. Shut up, dumbass. Stop complaining about it. Something smells stinky? Yeah, you smelled that for free. Shut up. Who cares? Oh, doesn't make very much sense now, does it? Doesn't make very much sense now, does it? Yeah, you never thought about it that way, did you, dumbass?
Here comes the final boss of all gacha defenses, the strongest mafia boss in Ohio. It's a gacha game. This phrase is the ultimate trump card. The all-purpose.
We don't go outside, we're gacha players? You're right, I forgot to factor that in. Yep, maybe that's why they didn't think about that argument.
Here comes the final boss of all gacha defenses, the strongest mafia boss in Ohio. It's a gacha game. This phrase is the ultimate trump card, the all-purpose get out of jail free card for literally any problem in the gacha space. Story full of filler? It's a gacha game. Gameplay stale and repetitive? It's a gacha game. Predatory monetization? Power creep events that recycle the same 3 mechanics over and over and over again. Guess what? It's a gacha game. And
Yeah, it's a gacha game, so it has to have all of these things that make it shit.
I love how it's a gacha game is used to defend a company. I also love when I was talking about Wuthering Waves and how it has no power creep, and people were using it's a gacha game to insinuate that Wuthering Waves will have power creep and will have problems. So now we're using it's a gacha game to defend Hoyoverse. And now we're also using it's a gacha game to shit on Wuthering Waves for problems it doesn't have. Oh, what a multifaceted and useful statement. Oh my goodness. Who could have imagined it could be used in so many different ways by so many dumb people?
over and over and over again. Guess what? It's a gacha game. And somehow that's supposed to end the conversation. Like they just pulled an Exodia in a duel. Let's think about this for a second, okay? This statement isn't just an excuse. It's a weaponized cop-out. It's the rhetorical equivalent of throwing your hands up and saying, well, that's just how it is, you feel me? And what's worse, it works. The other person nods along like, oh yeah, you know what? That's true. I guess we can expect better than a gacha game. Are you serious? Why are we out here treating mediocrity and predatory practices like they're baked into the DNA of gacha games? The story is just dialogue bloat. Every patch feels like filler and the rewards are trash. Well, it's a gacha game. Ah, of course, my bad for expecting anything better from a multi-million-dollar company. Let's all just clap politely while they give us absolutely nothing. Okay, so gacha games are inherently monetized around luck-based pulls. Yes, I know. The industry has a history of predatory practices, but does that mean we should just accept it without question? Absolutely not. Saying that it's a gacha game to justify anything, it's like saying, oh, it's a fast food burger to excuse fighting a cockroach.
Why is he here? Like, come on. Come on, man.
It's a fast food burger to excuse fighting a cockroach in your meal. Sure, fast food isn't Michelin star dining, but there is still a basic standard that it should be. When you use it's a gacha game as a shield, you're normalizing horrible practices. You're saying it's okay for these companies to prey on people, to design systems that exploit FOMO, to milk players dry, their wallets, I mean. Some people have lost their life savings to these games. Some gone into debt. Fob Master could have bought a house.
Okay, I need to hear this.
Stop spending $200 per copy of Ellen, please. Huh? It doesn't even feel good. How many Ellen copies do I have now, man? I only have C3. I'm ill.
And you're just sitting there saying, well, that's how it
So do keep that in mind. I actually think Fob has a crippling addiction to like seeing the number 6 next to his characters. I actually think he does. I think he stopped, but he might relapse soon.
I'm ill.
And you're just sitting there saying, well, that's how it is. No, that's not how it is. That's not how it's supposed to be. Do you know why gacha games are allowed to be so predatory nowadays? Because of this mindset, this apathy that is what enables developers to keep pushing boundaries and testing how far they can exploit their player base. You're not just defending the system, you're feeding it. And let's talk about how this phrase enables laziness. Oh, this story sucks. It's a gacha game. Oh, so it's normal for $1 billion studio to deliver poorly paced, filler-filled dialogue dumps.
But this is the funny thing about all of this. This entire argument of it's a gacha game completely crumbles and turns into nothing the second that you play Wuthering Waves 2.0. Because it has none of these absolutely disgusting issues that are present in all of the Hoyoverse games that you use the excuse it's a gacha game to justify. Exploration locked behind quality of life. It's a gacha game, they have to do it. Long, bloated story. It's a gacha game, they have to do it to increase the playtime and make sure players can spend. Character story quests, which focus more on like the fucking NPC. It's a gacha game, you know, you gotta make sure that you're building the world. Then you have Wuthering Waves 2.0. It comes in. The exploration, QOL, is literally fucking free. You unlock it. You can unlock it the second you log into the fucking game. The story is actually engaging. It's 7 or 8 hours long, the main story quest, but it's a quality 7 to 8 hours. You're not sitting there wondering when the fucking quest is over. You're actually sad that you feel like the quest is nearing completion because it was actually very engaging and honestly pretty similar to the fucking story writing and presentation that you would find in a AAA game. And the character story quest, holy shit, it's actually fucking good. And you're like, wow, I actually want to do these character story quests. Guess how many people have 100%ed all the Genshin story quests? I can probably count them on one hand because they're actually that fucking bad. Let's be honest here. Who's actually done all the Genshin story quests and hangouts? Don't fucking lie. Don't fucking lie. You haven't done all the hangouts. You haven't done all the story quests because they're fucking boring. Me? Y'all don't respect your time if you've done all of them because they fucking suck. Let's be real here. You needed the 20 primos. They suck. It's a fact that they suck.
For $1 billion studio to deliver poorly paced, filler-filled dialogue dumps with still image cutscenes. No, that is not just because it's gacha. It's because they know they could get away with it. Players like you are already defending them. So why would they try harder? Oh my god. Gameplay repetitive? It's a gacha game. Oh, it's so totally acceptable for a game to ignore innovation and pump out the same mechanics year after year. Why? Because you're convinced yourself that gacha equals no effort required. But then a game like Wuthering Waves comes along and shows that no, actually you can innovate in this space. You can deliver compelling gameplay and a fair gacha system, improvements over patches without falling into the same tired patterns. Yet despite this innovation, people are already doomsaying Wuthering Waves' future simply because it's a gacha game. They are predicting disasters that haven't even shown signs of happening. Oh, just wait, they're going to release a broken character that power creeps everyone else and ruins the balance of the game. Really? Based on what? There's
right. Hey, they have to do it. It's a gacha game. We have PTSD from 4 years of devs who have no fucking clue what they're doing. And so that must mean the Kuro devs also have no idea what the fuck they're doing. It has to happen. It has to happen.
When the only thing that's actually happened to stuff like power creep and balance in Wuthering Waves is that the older characters have only gotten stronger with the introduction of Nightmare Echoes. The older characters have only gotten better since they were released. They've only gotten stronger. It's literally reverse power creep. And these guys, they can't, their small brains with the memory of a goldfish cannot possibly imagine that a game could do that. They're literally scarred by Hoyoverse. It's actual PTSD. They think that getting treated like shit by the devs and having characters from 1.0 invalidated in less than 6 months is a normal occurrence. They think that every character should end up like Blade or Jing Liu or Sela and be fucking useless in less than 2 years. That's what they actually think is normal and should happen because they're slightly brain damaged.
no evidence, no signs. Every character that has been released has only gotten stronger with the nightmare echoes, with the new echo sets. Somehow you're already convinced that it's inevitable because, well, that's just a gacha game, you know? This is not criticism, it's fear-mongering, rooted in the baggage of other games. Wuthering Waves isn't perfect.
Baggage of other games, I like that.
This genre doesn't have to follow the same destructive patterns. So why are people so eager to lump it in with the worst examples instead of giving it the chance to prove it could be different? If this phrase excuses everything, where do you draw the line? At what point does it stop being acceptable? Is there no room for improvement at all? Or are we just supposed to be a good boy and accept whatever table scraps these companies throw at us? Because that's just how it's always been. It's always a gacha game. The truth is, this mindset is holding the entire genre back. It's why we have so many cookie cutter gacha games flooding the market. It's why innovation is rare and companies feel no pressure to improve. The moment that you accept that it's a gacha game as an answer, you're giving these companies permission to do the bare minimum. This mindset, the acceptance of mediocrity, is exactly why Genshin Impact has stagnated instead of being a genre leader that is.
Hey, you might as well lump Honkai Star Rail 3.0 right into the fucking pie. That game has literally had people desiring to quit it. Day one players don't want to fucking play anymore. And guess what? I hope ZZZ doesn't fall to the same fate. Because Genshin stagnated, turned into shit. Natlan was the final nail in the coffin. Honkai Star Rail stagnated, turned to shit. Amphorius is the final nail in the coffin. ZZZ, I pray to God 2.0 is okay for ZZZ. I pray to God that the game stays okay, because that's the game that it looks like they've been putting the most effort into, despite the fact that it seems to actually be making the least amount of money for them relative to the other ones. 1.5 was pretty good. Okay, I hope it stays good. Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot. The reason why I'm actually not that interested in playing ZZZ, guys, they power creep the 1.0 character in 4 versions. Like, to the point where the power creeper character Miyabi is, like, obscenely better than Ellen, to the point where, like, Ellen is actually unplayable. Like, she's binned. All you use her for is, like, dailies to, like, collect materials automatically for you. And I guess at that point, that was kind of like just a really big cause of concern for me when it came to ZZZ. I was just so confused that they were willing to destroy their 1.0 character before like even 2.0. Like every 1.0 character from Honkai Star Rail at least lasted until 2.0. They lasted until 2.0 at the very least. Like they died halfway through Penacony. But Ellen didn't even make it to the next 0. She didn't even make it there. I'm so confused. And people always use the argument of, well, Ellen can still clear. But that's not the fucking point. It's like Ellen now feels like dog shit to play because you know there's another option in the game that's like multitudes better than her. It's multitudes better than her. It's like having a car, right? Released in 2015. You buy the car in 2015, and then in 2016, the next version, everything's upgraded, and it costs exactly the same. And you're just like, why the fuck did I buy the car in 2015? And you feel like stupid for like not seeing it coming. And it's also like you feel like you wasted a bunch of your fucking money. And it just feels bad. It just feels bad without a fucking doubt. And they already did it this early on in ZZZ's life cycle. That's why I'm really skeptical about the game, because I'm always in the mindset of, why would I ever pull another DPS again? Why would I ever do anything in this game if it's not a Void Hunter? Aren't I just like wasting my pulls? And am I not just going to get immediately devalued? If you like the character, guess what? The character I like being an objectively shittier version of another character makes me not like them as much. If a character I like is just an objectively shittier version of another character, it's just a fact.
Instead of being a genre leader that is constantly pushes the boundaries, it's coasting on the goodwill that is built at launch. And the part of that stagnation is because of the community itself, especially the content creators. Because let's be real, many Genshin Impact content creators are too afraid to address the game's glaring issues because they
Guess what? We saw what happened to Marco de fucking Meatball. Made 86 plus videos about Genshin Impact, made one positive video about Wuthering Waves and how it's slightly better than Genshin Impact at this one thing, and he got publicly harassed so much he had to deactivate his Twitter. That's what fucking happens when you interact with the Genshin community. Because they're this fucking stupid and they make this many excuses for why their game is shit, and they don't hold the devs accountable for fucking anything.
especially the content creators. Because let's be real, many Genshin Impact content creators are too afraid to address the game's glaring issues because they don't want to rock the boat. Instead, they hype up every new patch, every character, no matter how repetitive or uninspired. And when somebody actually stands up and says, hey, this isn't good enough, they're immediately labeled as toxic or accused of creating drama. Oh my god, don't watch that guy. He's so negative. Watch my content instead. I'll tell you why every patch is amazing and why you should spend your primo gems right now. I should be the only mother trucker getting praised. This creates a toxic, hyper defensive fan base that fights every criticism. They'll go to war in the comment section to protect the honor of $1 billion corporation, all because someone dared to say we deserve better. All right.
You wanna know what happened? When I made a video saying that Rosia, the newest 5-star limited character coming to Wuthering Waves, I said she would brick your account if you pulled her. And I had some people saying that I was being too negative. But you know what that video's like ratio is at? It's at 92 to 93%. I made a video saying you should not pull a character. They will brick your account. It has over 70k views and its like ratio is at 92, 93%. That's the difference between these poisonous Hoyo communities and Wuthering Waves. That's the difference. You're actually able to give valid critiques about a character. You're allowed to say that a character isn't that good. You're allowed to give a meta take that isn't like just fucking basically lying, and you're fine. You're okay. It's all good. I've done it, and I'll keep doing it if the character is actually kinda bad. But God forbid you do that if it's in a Hoyoverse game. God forbid.
Dollar corporation, all because someone dared to say we deserve better. All right, it's time to talk directly to you, the fans, the players, the heart of the community. If you love a game, truly love it, then stop letting these companies off the hook for mediocrity. Stop.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think it's fair to say that every single Honkai Star Rail CC, and I think it was so that they could protect their early access, right? They said to pull Sparkle. They said that Sparkle was good and that she was worth it. And the fact of the matter is that clearly she was not. She's actually absolute fucking trash. She's dog shit compared to spending that investment on another support character. And I think the fact that these CCs did that for a character who was like as objectively bad as Sparkle is just like, I think it should be like a big mark, like sort of like a big stain on how valid their takes actually are. I think it's a big stain on how valid their takes actually are, if I'm frankly being honest. Because it's like, it was extremely disingenuous how much they pushed her when she was just bad.
It's time to talk directly to you, the fans, the players, the heart of the community. If you love a game, truly love it, then stop letting these companies off the hook for mediocrity. Stop applauding when they give you scraps. Stop calling filler patches content. Stop pretending that the bare minimum is enough. The games we love deserve more than that, and so do we. These companies rake in millions, sometimes billions, off the backs of our passion, our wallets, and our time. So why do we settle for less? Why do we reward laziness and brush off predatory practices with excuses like it's a gacha game? If you're going to pour your time and money into something, make it worth it. Demand better stories, better gameplay, demand better systems, better rewards. Don't just be a passive consumer, be an active fan. Be the kind of fan that pushes your favorite game to reach its full potential, not the kind who defends its worst habits. A good friend will call out your mistakes, not hype you up. Because here's the truth. When you excuse mediocrity, when you defend stagnation, when you enable exploitation, you're not helping your favorite game, you're killing it. You're smothering its potential under a blanket of blind loyalty and toxic positivity. If the players are the lifeblood of a game, then ask yourself this: are you giving it life, or are you slowly draining it dry?
Well, we all know what the answer to that question is. Drain, drain, drain.
Choice is yours.
All right, Glaive Keel finally had an actual outro to his video, not just a random sentence that sounds like it got fucking cut off. So I'll take that as the end of the end of the video. What a W. So yeah, my final thoughts on this are, bro is once again just spitting facts. I love how he structured the video in terms of like getting all of these popular age-old arguments and then basically just dismantling them like the fucking jokes that these arguments actually are. And everything that he said about these games, it's 100% true. I don't really think there was even much that I corrected from here. It seems like he really got all the facts straight. And the part that I love the most about it is the fact that he drew it all back to Wuthering Waves. How the whole it's a gacha game protection that we're using for Hoyoverse games is suddenly now being used to insinuate that Wuthering Waves is going to have similar problems down the road. But the fact of the matter is, no, the game and the devs are literally just better. They're literally just better. And it's really hard for people to accept that because they're used to getting shit shoveled into their fucking mouth ad nauseum for the past 3 to 4 years. And I am so glad that Wuwa 2.0 came out before Amphorius, because now I do genuinely believe that Honkai Star Rail can become better. I do believe it can actually become better because people saw 2.0, they see how good it is, and they're like, we're not accepting this absolute dog shit, lazy fuckboy writing in Amphorius. We need it to change. We need better quality, and it can't stay like this garbage forever. Otherwise, somebody's gonna blow a gasket, somebody's gonna quit, and something bad is gonna happen, right, for the community of the game. And that transformation is already happening, and I'd love to see it. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace out.